So today we will play a small game. I will read out a few symptoms from a book, a Matremedica book of a remedy, and you have to identify which remedy it can be. Okay? So, memory weak, forgets everything, loss of willpower, slow in answering questions, intellect very weak, shows every mark of imbecility, absent mindedness, time passes too slowly, embarrassment, obtuseness of mental operations with great inclination to sleep, heaviness and muddleness of head, imbecility, foolish, mischievous, disgusting actions. This is one part. Another part of the remedy is fear of being alone, anxiety, restlessness, change of place, ebullition, sweat, apprehensive, imaginary fears, fears he will lose his mind, anxiety and apprehension, did not know what to do. It seemed as though he had committed a crime, with a feeling he had no control over his senses. Anxiety driving to suicide, thoughts of suicide, desire for death, anxiety from which he cannot free himself. Great restlessness must change her position, fear with desire to escape, as if she had committed a crime. Universal uneasiness of the body, could not remain one moment in one posture, very restless, no rest in any place, restlessness all night, bad effects of fright, leaving one in a state of great anxiety. Now you can try and think of what medicine you think this is. Anyone? All of you have to one by one tell one remedy. So aconite, ferrum, baryta, antimcrude, baryta. Now give one, two reasons why you feel whatever remedy you have thought of.
Slowness of movements, the perspiration which is profuse, restlessness, fear that feels that he has committed crime, cannot rest in one position. So thought of the first part, it was more of baryta, but second jo tha, restlessness, fear that he has committed some crime and cannot rest in one position. So that went to antimcrude for me.
Okay.
Intellectually weak, perspiration, your slowness, and all.
You have thought of baryta. Okay.
Absent-mindedness. Ferrum I said because recollect what I have read, the words and everything. I recollected it. The feels that she have committed a crime. That and weakness also.
Okay.
Aconite for restlessness, cannot stay in one place, and elements from fright was taken. So for restlessness, aconite.
Okay. So, do you want me to tell you the remedy directly? Then the remedy is mercury. Do you agree with this if I tell you that the medicine is mercury? And if you agree, what is it that you agree? If you don't agree, what is it that you don't agree?
Can be, but it's a full-fledged agree wala nahi, but can be if the perspiration part and the restlessness part के बहुत restlessness होता है, there is clumsiness of mind, cannot think of, मतलब absent minded and cannot think of ये means the mercury का बहुत ऐसा ऊपर नीचे होता है ना, so if we connect this then can be, but ऐसा mercury वाला ये वाला picture don't know.
Okay. Anyone else? So tell me, what is your idea of mercury?
एनार्किस्ट जो रिवॉल्ट करते हैं और फिर सुसाइडल टेंडेंसी होती है, डिज़ायर टू किल अदर्स होता है, फियर ऑफ हाइट, फियर ऑफ शार्प ऑब्जेक्ट्स होता है, एंड एंगर काफ़ी वायलेंट रहता है, बट इन द वे दे आर काइंड ऑफ, मतलब कैसे बोल सकते हैं, मेमोरी वाइज इंटेलेक्चुअली वीक, वो थोड़ा नहीं पता था मेरे को। absent-minded clumsiness वो नहीं पता था।
Okay. What else? What is your idea of mercury?
Mostly anger जो violent है, means desire to kill and fear of pointed objects are mostly prominently remembered. अगर mercury का picture सोचो तो, but absent-mindedness doesn't come to mind when mercury comes up.
The foolish behavior, absent-mindedness, clumsiness, mercury.
Embarrassment.
Doesn't fit.
So basically, why we can't think of mercury with absent-mindedness, imbecility, embarrassment, forgetfulness? Because we have a fixed image of mercury that it is a metal and it has to be strong. We cannot imagine metals to be weak. And if you read the Materia Medicas of different metals, you will find weakness of mind is a prominent feature in most metals, especially so in mercury. In mercury, we have mental retardation, we have imbecility, we have absent-mindedness, we have foolishness, we have sluggishness. So even if it comes in front of us, just because we have a particular image of mercury, that mercury has to be strong, we will not give mercury. If you read Materia Medica of Marxall, you will find that mercury has all these features of mental retardation and imbecility very strongly. This comes up even in mercury poisoning. Second aspect of mercury, as Dr. Yusuf said, about anarchist and desire to kill others. In fact, in mercury we have the opposite side also, where there is a desire to commit suicide and kill himself. That much is the fear. That much is the fear and restlessness of mercury, that they have an impulse to kill themselves also. So it is not always the other way, it is also this way. When this anxiety is so much that the patient wants to run out of the house out of anxiety, and they can run out of the house anytime in the middle of the night also, because they cannot stay in house or cannot stay in one place. So my point, again and again I have mentioned this a lot of times in my talks and seminars, is we have a problem, and that problem is drug pictures. We cannot get out of drug pictures, we cannot get out of these fixed images of certain drugs that we have made in mind. And so even if it comes in front of us and asks for that remedy, on repertorization it comes straight on our face, but still we don't give, because we are fixed in images and drug pictures. And Hahnemann has again and again said, be unprejudiced, whether it is to do with the disease or with the remedy. We have to be unprejudiced and prescribe on totality of symptoms, which we have completely forgotten.
Sir, but in this case, if on repetization, both the remedies comes up, that is Moxol and Baraita cup. So, thinking of the symptoms, we will first go to Baraita cup. So, how to avoid going to Baraita cup, or how to include, or if that's the patient is a Moxol, how to differentiate between the both to give him Moxol or like.
We should not think of a remedy. That is the primary rule. The primary rule is we should just take the case, put the symptoms and repertorize. When you come at repertorization, that is when you should start thinking of a medicine. When we start thinking of mental retardation or sluggishness, feebleness of mind and intellect, and start thinking of Baraita, we are already prejudiced. Because we don't think that any other medicine beyond Baraita can cover this. There are so many medicines under imbecility, under mental retardation, but we don't think of them. That is what the problem is, that we should not think of medicines. Take the totality. It is the other symptoms associated with this mental retardation and intellect issue that will lead to mercury, and not any other way. It has to be always the symptoms, the other symptoms along with the main symptom. That is what decides the medicine. We should not think of the remedy as far as possible. Let it come to you. You should not go to the medicine. So basically, as I have so many times mentioned, drug pictures is the major problem that homeopaths face in their practice. They keep on prescribing on drug pictures and again keep on failing, and then they wonder why it is not working. Drug pictures help in only 2 to 3 cases out of 10 of that remedy. Rest of the 7 atypical pictures of that medicine are completely lost because we are prejudiced in thinking of a remedy in a particular manner. Because of this, because of these books which give us drug pictures, we tend to, because they are very fanciful and easy to read and very nice to listen to and understand, we keep on going after the books which give us drug pictures, and we neglect source books, which is actually the main part of homeopathic practice. If we start using source books, then we will understand how wrong these drug pictures are. But nobody listens to this. Second part is, suppose if I tell a remedy to a homeopathic doctor that you are platina, you are lachesis, you are baraita, then they feel offended. Why? Because they have a image about platina, about lachesis, about baraita, that these are the dark remedies of our Matra Medica. So if that remedy, even if it is your right remedy, you will feel offended that how can I be platina, how can I be lachesis, because we are fixed to a certain image. We don't know the other aspects of that remedy, and so a baraita is always a dumb person, lachesis is always a deceitful person, a platina is always a contemptuous person. A small example if I have to give is an example of clothes intolerant, cannot tolerate tight clothes. The only remedy that we think of is lachesis. Maximum we will come to Lyco or Nux vomica. But if you see the repertory, you will find 68 remedies plus in this rubric. But we don't tend to look at these remedies. We get fixed to Ophidia group. We get maximum stretching to Lyco or Nux vomica. This is the problem with drug pictures and drug images, and the faster we get out of this, the better prescribers we will be, the more unprejudiced will be, and it will open a lot of more vistas and doors in our homeopathic practice. Thank you.